Hi guys, I'm Julia. I'm a certified yoga fit instructor. I'm here today with your lengthening and toning yoga practice. This is a perfect practice for long and lean muscles. It is a quick, full body practice, perfect to fit into your everyday routine. So if you're ready, let's begin. We're going to begin this practice in the cross-legged seated position, sitting up nice and tall on our sit bones, maybe rocking back and forth, just to find our nice and tall centered position. Engaging our core slightly, we're lifting up from the crown of our head, sitting up nice and tall. From here, maybe we can relax our eyes closed, opening up our palms on either knee, beginning to tune into our breath. Taking cleansing inhales, and then exhaling, releasing any tension that we may be holding in our body. Tuning into how we're feeling in this present moment. We're going to start to roll our shoulders up, back, down. Warming up with some shoulder circles. Maybe still relaxing our eyes closed here. Just waking up the body. Rolling our shoulders up and back. And reversing the circles. Gonna reach our shoulders up to our ears and then roll them forward. Moving at a pace that feels good for us in this present moment. Now we're gonna interlace our hands, reaching up, reaching from side to side. We're finding length in our spine. Just warming up, a gentle stretch. And from here we can bend both our elbows and we can stretch our arms to one side, creating length in our arms. And straighten our elbows out and bend to the other side. Reaching them back out, opening up our arms and interlacing behind our back, coming into the chest opener, maybe looking up. Maybe moving our arms from side to side, releasing any tension that we may be holding in our arms. From here, we're just going to shake everything out, releasing any tension. And from here, we're coming into the all fours position, finding the balance between weight on our hands and our knees, a slight bend in our elbows, and engagement of our core. We're coming into the side plank flow, so we're going to shift onto one hand and one knee, same hand as knee, reaching our leg out towards the edge of our mat, reaching our top arm up. Then we're going to lift up from our core, from our side, lifting up our leg, feeling an engagement in the side of our hip, reaching from one end of the room to the other, reaching from our fingertips to our toes, lifting, and then meeting the all fours. If we're taking care of our knees today, we have a modification where we can loop up our mat and roll it over, and then we have a little bit more of a cushion for our knees. So we're going to come into the other side, shifting into the same hand as knee, reaching our toe out along our mat, reaching our top arm up. We're going to lift up our leg, lifting up from our side, reaching from our fingertip to our toe, lifting a little bit more, an inch further up, and then meeting back at the all fours. And this time we're going to find a contraction in our side plank flow. So we're lifting our arm and leg up, contracting our elbow to our knee, engaging our core here, and extending, maybe flexing our foot, finding a stretch in our calf, reaching a little bit further, lifting up another inch, and then meeting back at the all fours. We're going to flow through this at our own pace, reaching, lifting up our leg, reaching our arm out, and then contracting elbow to meet our knee, engaging our core, and then flexing our foot. We're reaching out, finding a stretch in our calf, reaching, lifting up another inch, and then meeting back at the all fours. And we'll repeat this another time on each side. Reaching our leg up, contracting elbow to knee, extending, and then meeting back together in the all fours. Reaching up, lifting up our leg, contracting elbow to knee, maybe flexing our foot here, extending, reaching from our heel to our fingertips, feeling the length in our body. Reaching from our fingertip to our toe, lifting up our leg, reaching, and then contracting. And reaching back out, maybe flexing our foot, feeling the length from our heel all the way to our fingertips, and then meeting in the all fours. And if we looped our mat up, we now have the option to release our mat back out, meeting in the tabletop, all fours position. Tucking our toes under, we're gonna lift our knees an inch or two off the mat, engaging our core here. And we're gonna step back to the plank with an option to keep our knees lowered as a modification. Whatever feels good for us in this present moment in our body. Lifting up to the plank, we're gonna rock forward and back. Feeling the engagement of our arms, the strength in our core, and engagement of our legs. Maybe finding a stretch in our calf muscles as we rock forward and back. We're gonna lower our knees down, untuck our toes, lower down with control, hugging our elbows into our ribs, lowering all the way down. We're gonna come up into a baby cobra here, opening up our chest, trying to drop our shoulders down, looking up, making sure we still have a long neck. Bring your hands back underneath our shoulders. We're gonna push back into the child's pose, just releasing here. Maybe curling our fingers under and finding a stretch in the back of our wrists, just releasing. Untucking our fingers, we're gonna come back to the all fours. Lowering back down to our belly, halfway, and then coming up into the up dog. Coming onto the tops of our feet. An option just to stay in the baby cobra here. And from here, we're gonna push back into our first down dog, untucking our toes. Maybe finding a bend in our knees so we can make sure to have a nice flat back here, which is the main focus. Feeling the strength in our arms and our legs, maybe bending our knees if it's in our practice today. We can begin to warm up our legs with some foot pedals, bending one knee, coming up onto the tippy toe, and then the other. Just flowing through this at our own pace, bending one knee at a time, and reaching the opposite heel down towards the mat. And we're just flowing here. We're gonna meet both heels down, bending our knees. We're gonna step one foot and the other foot to meet our hands in the forward fold, bending our knees as much as we need to feel comfortable. Maybe coming into the gorilla pose, placing one hand and the other hand tucked underneath our feet, bending our knees as much as we need to, releasing in the gorilla pose. Releasing our hands. We're gonna come up halfway with a flat back. And then releasing back down to the forward fold. We're gonna sit back in the chair, holding here, and then standing up tall to the mountain. We're gonna come into the center of our mat, stepping our legs out into a wide position with our toes pointed outward slightly. We're coming into some sunflowers, and this will help warm up our legs even more. Reaching up with our hands, we're gonna bend our elbows and bend our knees and extend, flowing on our arms in whatever feels good for us. Bending our knees, reaching everything out. Maybe connecting our movement to our breath. Bending and stretching out. Feeling an engagement of our glutes, inner thighs, and hamstrings. And the sunflower flow. We'll repeat this 1 or 2 times more. And one more. We're gonna step forward in the chair, sitting back nice and deep, standing up tall on the mountain, reaching our hands above our head. We bend our knees, swan dive forward with a flat back, coming into the forward fold. Just releasing here. Maybe nodding our head, yes and no. Just releasing our neck. Then from here, we're gonna step one foot, then the other foot out to the plank with an option to keep our knees lowered for a modification, or meeting in the full plank. Holding here. Now we're gonna lower down onto our forearms, maybe interlacing our hands. Holding here. And then coming onto one forearm, opening up to the side, we're coming into our side plank, lifting up our hips, engaging our core here. Reaching up with an option to bend our bottom knee down for modification, or staying in the full side plank. Reaching up, we're gonna curl our arm down, reaching the space in between our hip and floor, and reaching back up. And curling again, reaching our hand in the space underneath our hip and coming back up. One more time. Reaching, rounding our arm, reaching back up, meeting together in the center, lowering our knees, untucking our toes. We're gonna press back into the child's pose, finding a release here. Connecting back into our breath. We're coming back into the all fours, lowering down halfway, looking up into the up dog or into the baby cobra for a modification. And we're going to push back into the child's pose. Now we're coming back into the all fours, tucking our toes under, lifting up our knees a couple inches off the mat. We're going to step into the plank, feeling an engagement of our core and the strength in our body. From here, we're going to come back into the side plank, the opposite side, lowering down to our forearms, and then shifting into one side, reaching our top arm up, looking up to the sky, and following our hand as we reach our hand down with our arms curved, reaching in the space underneath our hip, in between our hip and floor, reaching back out, curving our hand down, contracting, and reaching back out, extending our arm. One more, rounding our arm down, maybe lifting our hips up an inch or two, and reaching back out. It's okay if you shake it all here. You're finding more strength. Coming back into the center plank. We're gonna rock forward and back. And from here, we're gonna lower our knees down, untuck our toes, sitting back into the child's pose. And from here, we're tuning back into our breath, feeling centered and grounded in our mat. Rolling up, coming into the hero pose, reaching our arms out and up, and then to our heart center. Sitting up nice and tall here, engaging our core. And from here, we're coming into the all fours position, tucking our toes under. And this time, we're coming into the down dog position, extending our legs out, making any adjustments that we need to here in this pose. We're going to reach up with our right leg, coming into the three-legged dog, with a modification, just lifting up our leg as much as we feel comfortable in this present moment. And we're just finding some foot circles here. And now we're going to shift our weight forward onto our hands, lifting up our heel more. As we come into a plank position with our legs still up, we're reaching our knee to our opposite elbow and holding this position, feeling the strength in our arms and our core, reaching our knee to our opposite elbow, and then extending back out to the three-legged dog, reaching. And now we're going to contract, shifting forward with our weight, touching our knee to our nose, holding here, and then extending back out, reaching our leg up. And now shifting forward, we're meeting our knee to our outside of our arm, holding, and extending back out. We're lowering our leg down, meeting back in the down dog position. Lifting up our heels, bending our knees, straightening. Lifting up our heels, bending our knees. Now lowering our knees down, untucking our toes, and relaxing back into the child's pose. Maybe releasing our arms along our body. Just releasing any tension here. Reaching our arms back out in front of us. We're coming back into the all fours, tucking under our toes, and pushing back into the down dog. Bending our knees as much as we need to here to make sure we have a nice flat back and feel comfortable in this position. Reaching up this time with our left leg to the three-legged dog. We're going to find some gentle foot circles here. Now shifting forward, coming with our weight onto our hands, we're reaching our knee to our opposite elbow, feeling the strength in our arms here, the strength in our core. Now shifting back slowly, coming back into the three-legged dog. We're extending here. And hold. And now we're shifting forward back onto our arms, touching our knee to our nose, contracting forward and holding, and then extending back out. Holding here. We're shifting back forward onto our arms, meeting our knee to our outside elbow, holding here, and then reaching back to the three-legged dog. And then meeting both legs together, bending our knees. We're coming back down into the child's pose. Just releasing here, maybe curling our fingertips under, releasing the back of our wrists. Releasing any tension in this final pose. Maybe interlacing our hands behind our back, opening up our chest here, maybe lifting those hands up to the sky, reaching up, moving our arms from side to side, just releasing. And then just relaxing our arms wherever feels comfortable for us. We can just fully relax. Releasing our lower back here, relaxing our arms, taking deep, cleansing breaths in this final pose. Tuning into how our body is feeling after this practice. And thanking ourselves for taking time out of our day to focus on ourselves. Just releasing all of our tension and stress. We're going to roll up, coming into the hero pose. Bringing our hands to heart center, reaching our arms out and up above our head, meeting our hands back to heart center. We're going to meet here in the cross-legged position, sitting up nice and tall. We bring our hands to heart center. Namaste. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day for this practice. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you.